Hi everyone. So I'll, my name is Ravi. I'll be taking your week 10 tutorial. Right? So let's start off with this week's tutorial. There's 5 questions. The first question is question number 2. Two IC op-amps are available to you. Their characteristics are listed below. Choose the one you think is more desirable, right? So op-amp 1, it has a input impedance of 5 mega ohms, output impedance of 100 ohms, and open loop gain of 50,000. Op-amp2 has a input impedance of 10 mega ohms, output impedance of 75 ohms, open loop gain of 150,000, right? So uh, the characteristics of an op-amp is high input resistance, low output resistance, and high open loop gain, right? So based on these characteristics, we can identify the best op-amp, right? So which between the two, the the largest input impedance is of op-amp2, right? The smallest output impedance is of op-amp2 again, and the open loop gain is the largest for op-amp2 again. So the best op-amp or the most desirable one is op-amp number 2, right? So the solution given is op-amp2 is more desirable because it has a higher input impedance, a lower output impedance, and a higher open loop gain, right? So when choosing between two op-amps, make sure you compare the characteristics, right? Um, the next question is question number 6. An op-amp datasheet specifies a common mode rejection ratio of 300,000 and an open loop gain of 90,000. What is the common mode gain, right? So you know that the common mode rejection ratio is equal to open loop gain upon common mode gain, right? So you know that you know your common mode rejection ratio, you know your open loop gain, right? You just have to find your common mode gain. So your common mode gain is equal to, like, rearranging this formula, you'll be getting common mode gain is equal to open loop gain holding upon CMRR, right? So your common mode gain is equal to open loop gain upon CMRR, which is equal to 90,000 upon 300,000, which is equal to 0.3, right? So your your common mode gain is equal to 0.3, right? So moving on to the next question, question number 9. Figure 1261 shows the output voltage of an op-amp in response to a step input. What is the slew rate? So slew rate is basically the slope of voltage against time graph, right? So it is basically the rate of change of voltage, right? So to find the slew rate, you basically need to find the slope of this, right? Of this graph. So that would be rise upon run. So that is equal to change in voltage upon change in time. So if we do that, slew rate is equal to change in voltage is 24 volts, right? 24 volts. And change in time, right? Change in time is 15 microseconds. So the slew rate or the slope, this particular slope, is equal to 1.6 volt per microsecond. Be careful with the units as well, right? So since the time is given in microseconds, so it's voltage per microseconds. The next question is question number 10. How long does it take the output voltage of an op-amp to go from negative 10 volt to positive 10 volt if the slew rate is 0.5 volt per microsecond? So you know your slew rate, you know your change in voltage, that is equal to 20 volt, right? You just need to find the time. So your change in time is equal to change in voltage upon slew rate, right? Which is equal to 20 volt, right? 20 volt. This is 10 minus 10 volt, right? So this is your 20 volt holding upon your slew rate, which is 0.5 volt per microsecond, right? 0.5 volt per microsecond. Your output will be in terms of microsecond, right? So your change in time is equal to 40 microsecond. The next question is question number 18. Determine the approximate values for each of the following quantities in figure 1267, right? You have to find the input current, the final output current, right? I mean input current, IF, this current, right? Your output voltage, right? Your output voltage over here, and the closed loop gain, right? So to find I in, right? So I in over here. So you know this point is a virtual ground, right? Basically, the voltage at this particular node is equal to 0 volt, right? So that would be, to find the I in, that would be 1 volt minus 0 whole thing upon Ri, right? So you will get the current I in, right? So that is equal to I in is equal to V in divided by R in, right? Since this is minus 0 volt, you can just take V in, right? V in upon R in, right? Which is equal to 1 volt upon the resistance, the input resistance, that is 2.2 kilo ohms, right? So you'll be getting a current of 455 microamps, right? Question number 2. What is we need to find our IF, right? Our IF. So our IF, since this is a virtual ground, there's no current flowing over here. So I in is approximately equal to IF, right? So in that particular case, whatever current is coming here, it will just come through, just flow through, right, in this direction. So your I in is equal to approximately equal to IF, right? So whatever your I in is, it will be your IF, 455 microampere. Part C of this, you need to find the voltage output, right? Voltage output, since it is a inverting amplifier, right? Since it is an inverting amplifier, so your output will be inverted, right? So that means the V out is equal to negative IF, right? Negative IF RF, right? So you know your IF, that is equal to I in, which is equal to 455 microampere, right? You know your RF, which is 22 kilo ohms, right? So basically you just need to multiply RF with IF, right? RF with IF, right? And the value will be a negative value of that, right? So it will be negative into 455 microampere into 22 kilo ohms, which is equal to negative 10 volts. So your output voltage will be equal to negative 10 volt. Um, Part D, find the closed loop gain, right? So since it is a inverting amplifier, so your closed loop gain is equal to negative RF upon RI, right? So your closed loop gain is equal to negative RF upon RI. So you know your RF, you know your RI. So directly substituting the values, that is 22 kilo ohms upon 2.2 kilo ohms. So your gain is equal to negative 10, right? So that's all for this week's tutorial. Thank you for following up. If you have any other questions, you can drop me an email or anyone in the teaching team, right? So thank you.